Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's talk about a city that has pretty much mastered the art of reinvention. I mean, from being the epicenter of a world war to the defining symbol of the Cold War, Berlin has this incredible knack for transforming itself into something completely new.
You know, one of its most famous residents, the one and only David Bowie. He just captured the city's electric vibe perfectly. He saw it as a place of just boundless creativity, and honestly, that's a reputation it absolutely lives up to today.
Modern Berlin, it's a global hub for art, for music, for history. It's this amazing place where old industrial ruins become legendary nightclubs and where concrete walls become canvases. But, and this is the key, its vibrant present is built directly on the foundations of a really fractured past.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How did a city literally torn in two, a place that symbolized division and conflict, become this worldwide beacon for creativity and freedom? Well, to understand the Berlin of today, we've got to go back, way back, right to the aftermath of World War II. The victorious Allied powers came in and literally carved the city up, setting the stage for decades of tension. So this timeline really lays it out. It starts in '45 with the city split into 4 sectors. Then you get the Berlin airlift, a huge moment, and then the most dramatic step of all in 1961, the construction of the Berlin Wall. Now, here's something that's really interesting, and it's a common misconception. The wall didn't just split the city down the middle. No way. It completely encircled West Berlin, making it a democratic island floating in the middle of communist East Germany. This created 2 vastly different worlds, living side by side, yet totally separated by concrete and barbed wire. It's wild to think about. So you have to wonder, what was it like living on this democratic island deep inside a communist state? Well, for one thing, it had this super unique legal status that made life there unlike anywhere else in Germany. Okay, get this. West Berlin wasn't technically part of West Germany. Because of this, its residents didn't have to do West Germany's mandatory military service. On top of that, it was physically isolated and heavily subsidized just to keep its economy going. This whole combination created this very unusual, well, social petri dish.
And that unique status, especially the part about no military service, had this incredible, totally unintended consequence. It turned an isolated city into a magnet for a whole generation of artists, musicians, and radicals from all over West Germany who wanted to avoid the draft and live a more alternative lifestyle.
So this political isolation actually fostered this powerful creative identity. And then, after 28 years standing as this brutal symbol of division, on the night of November 9th, 1989, the wall fell. And the crazy thing is, it happened almost by accident. And just like that, the border was open. The city was reunited. But the former East, it was a landscape of abandoned buildings, empty factories, and apartments with no clear owners. A massive power vacuum had just been created.
And this vacuum was filled almost immediately by the very same artists and nonconformists who had flocked to West Berlin. They saw these empty, decaying spaces not as ruins, but as a giant, blank canvas. The huge industrial buildings were perfect for sound, the rent was, well, non-existent, and with very little oversight, a whole new culture just exploded. This is exactly where Berlin's legendary techno scene was born. And what started as this illegal underground movement has since become a huge economic engine for the city. Today, that raw creative energy contributes an estimated 1.5 billion euros to the economy every single year, drawing millions of people to the city. But Berlin's transformation isn't about erasing its past. Not at all. Instead, the city wears its history openly, weaving it right into the fabric of daily life. The whole place is basically a living museum. I mean, sure, it has world-class traditional museums. The famous Museum Island alone got over 2.5 million visitors in 2023. But honestly, the most powerful history lessons in Berlin, you find them outside of museum walls. The city is just brilliant at repurposing its old structures. The former Tempelhof Airport, now it's a massive public park. A WW air raid bunker, it houses a famous contemporary art collection. And that old East German power plant, well, that's now Berghain, arguably the most famous nightclub in the world. But the history isn't just in the grand buildings. It's woven into the very sidewalks, often in these really subtle and moving ways. As you walk through the city, you'll find these small brass blocks in the pavement. They're called Stolperstein, or stumbling blocks. And each one marks the last freely chosen home of a person murdered by the Nazis, memorializing an individual life right where it was lived.
It's this constant, personal reminder of the city's darkest chapter. See, Berlin doesn't hide its scars. It turns them into art, into parks, into reminders. It transformed the voids left by division into spaces for unity and creativity. It's such a powerful lesson, right? That from the deepest cracks, something new and incredibly vibrant can grow.